Do you want some special edition stuff? You're about to get it here on the Always Moto podcast. All right, welcome in. This is a special edition of the Always Moto podcast. We're on the YouTube channel. We're on the Spotify right now. I'm David Hogan, your host, and I was a part of the Motorcycling New South Wales team that put together the awards night for Motorcycling New South Wales in 2025, their Hall of Fame inductees. We've already put out our Chad Reed interview that we did for that night as well. So go and check that out. It's on our channel and our feeds as well. But we've got some more extended interviews that I did as part of the night production that went on. Obviously, we had our categories where we're giving out our awards, but we also had some interviews with riders that weren't able to be present on the night, two of which our road racing guys, Senna Agius and Jacob Roulstone. They were both obviously overseas at the time. The championships were still going on, but we were able to catch up with them via the good old, Google Meet catch-ups, and we're able to get their thoughts. Now, we edited up those interviews for the presentation night. Obviously, we have a small window of time to fit each of these things in between our presentation categories. So we didn't get all of the content that we had available that I did with them. It wasn't a part of that night. So we thought it was a good opportunity, use the Always Moto platform to put those interviews out unedited. Now, neither of these interviews have a massive lead in or lead out. We just literally got what we needed for our points for the night. We had a couple of short questions and key parts. Obviously, the interview questions that the guys answered, Senna and Jacob, both had slightly longer answers that were then chopped down to fit the program, like I said. So this is your chance to hear the full interview here. No other fluff stuff in this podcast, purely just the content that we've got from Senna and Jacob. Now, awesome to have those guys on this and a part of that awards night. It's also been awesome that they were a part of the World Championship for MotoGP, obviously Moto2 for Senna, Moto3 for Jacob. But they've recently been at home. They've been part of the St. George Motorcycle Club doing some of their events. Senna has already done one. Jacob signed up for one in the beginning of January. So you're going to be able to see those local homegrown talents here at Eastern Creek in New South Wales there, if anyone's around. I believe the event's free entry, the one that they're advertising for Jacob coming up in January. So check St. George Motorcycle's Facebook page to head over to do that. You'll be able to check out some world-class talent at a local event, which is really cool. Awesome that those guys are coming back and still riding at these events as well. So without further ado, let's get to the interviews. We're going to go Senna Agius first, and we're going to have Jacob Roulstone. Like I said, the unedited versions of their interviews with myself that were part of the Motorcycling New South Wales Awards Night for 2025.
Hey everyone, I'm Senna Agius, racing in the Moto2 category of MotoGP. Welcome to the 2025 Motorcycling New South Wales Awards Night.
All right, we've got Senna Agius on the line. He's joining us for the Motorcycling New South Wales Awards Night. Senna, welcome to our interview with you. Hopefully things are going well. Wanted to find out a little bit about where you started in motorcycle racing. So tell us about maybe the first event that you were a part of in New South Wales, and where was it, what type of discipline was it, and how things have progressed from there.
No, good. Just thanks for having me, and keen to chat about where it all started, I guess. It feels like a lifetime ago. I've been doing this for a while now. I'll say my first memories is backyard. Let's just put it there, like ridiculously young age, 18 months, with my brother cutting laps in the backyard. But I'd say first events, memories, like photos of me racing would be at the Central Coast Junior Motorcycle Club, like the Nipper 50 days, doing the inside track of anyone's been there. It looks like a bit of an arena where you stand and there's small tracks on the inside. We used to race out on the juniors, and that's got to be 4, I believe. So I think that's the minimum age you can race other than the nipper. So yeah, we did like it was not a tape start, but like off the concrete start stuff. So you could actually feel like a race. You went there and you're at the Australian titles. Okay, your class maybe wasn't an Australian title, but you're watching all the big guys and riding on the same start grid as they were, and which was cool. So yeah, it's got to be there, and quickly moved over to road racing shortly after.
What makes you jump across the road racing? Is it the thrill of the speed? Like, there's got to be something a little bit crazy about the fact that you're going at 200 plus, maybe even a 300 plus at times on a bike. What made you jump across to that discipline? Was it access? Was it the thrill for the speed aspect? What caused you to go to road racing?
Yeah, I hit a crossroads, in all honesty. Like I say, I jumped to road racing, but I followed the categories through flat track. I raced motocross 50-50 with flat track from 65 to 85 days. I think I was about 10 or 11 where I just kind of had to pick one quite quickly for the last year that I did flat track. So I raced motocross for a long time. Never won an Australian title, but I think seconds and thirds for a couple of years with names that, went to go on to America and things like that. So I was equally as much as I was committed to flat track, I was also quite committed to motocross. All my idols and main people that I idolized growing up, James Stewart, Ryan Villapoto, Dungey, Roxon, Tomac, they were all motocrossers. But at one stage, we kind of hit a crossroads where, like, do we continue motocross or go down the flat track route? And I'm enjoying flat track. I'm feeling, I don't know, I started to get injured in motocross, and I don't know why, looking back, that I didn't pursue it in a way. So we decided to tackle flat track, and then that crossroads I just mentioned, it's like, well, where do you go from there? You can go into seniors in flat track and stay in Australia, or do you try and take it to America with the TT style, or speedway, traditional speedway? And I chose speedway. And I immediately just did not like it. Like I got a bike. Dad organised a bike, and we had a fair crack. We didn't race or anything. I didn't actually get my official license to race it. I just did some private stuff, and it 100% wasn't for me. And Dad took my brother overseas in 2010-11 to in the 125 CV Championship. Did a couple of Grand Prix. So Dad had a road racing background. And then we were like, okay, well, great road races come from flat track. Look at Casey and Miller, Jack. So, let's have a go at that. And it was like a light switch. I often refer it to like my light switch moment from motocross to flat track. As soon as I jumped on that thing, my level was at here on a dirt bike, 12, 13 Australian titles, to I could not ride a road bike for the life of me. I was riding it like a dirt bike, but I immediately loved it. It's all I wanted to do. Nice. So then it flipped again, and I started from scratch. And within, say, a 2.5 year turnaround, I found myself in Asia Talent Cup alongside MotoGP in 2018. So everything's been really a short turnaround for me. I could say quick learner. Got to a decent level quickly, went over there, really young, deep end type of stuff, and that kickstarted my career.
Yeah, wow, that's a pretty crazy speed that you've got across through things there. And I guess in all of that, like you mentioned, like doing flat track, motocross, road racing, speedway style stuff. Do you do any of that now still as training for the MotoGP side of stuff that you're doing in Moto2, or is it all just like you've got one thing that you do as a training on the bike outside of this now?
No, for the style of MotoGP, we can't ride our race bike other than 3-4 scheduled test days in our race weekend. So we would do more miles, confident in saying we do more miles on off-road bikes from January to December than we'd actually do our race bike away from the track. So it's difficult to replicate your training. Like I look at the AMA guys in America, and they race on Saturday and they're at the test track on that bike on Monday. Like I wish the improvement level would be insane, but I guess that's just not affordable for anyone. So I'm riding the off-road bike a couple of times a week sometimes, and then I try to ride a similar sort of training bike that I get the most transition over to my race bike on about once a week. So definitely, like in off-season period, I'm full back to motocross, and actually about to do a flat track race with Jack at the Rossi's Ranch race. So I'm going back to the roots there a little bit. It's more, we only turned left for 8 years of my life at home. One time a year we'd do the right corner in the dog leg. But TT over here is quite different, but from motocross, we've got no problem turning right.
That's funny. That's one of the age-old jokes about speedways, that you only can turn left. But yeah, you've obviously figured out how to go both ways. So that's a good sign for you at this point in your life. And it's working. You've got a couple of wins this year, mate. That's got to be an awesome feeling too, that you're progressing in that sense as well. Yeah,
they were unbelievable. Silverstone was two polar opposite victories. One, I was just running on adrenaline because there was motorbikes and passing and hitting and chaos every lap of the race, that it all blended into one, and one felt like the most longest 40, not boring, but mentally taxing 40 minutes, because I didn't have to push that hard. Like, my relative effort out there was scarily low. I was in my rhythm and flow, and I just didn't want to make a mistake. So two different victories, let's say, both obviously feel amazing, and yeah, great achievements.
Yeah, no, definitely. I saw the highlights of that end of the Silverstone one, and like you came from like third into the second last corner or whatever, and you pop out in first. It's got to be like a fully just unexpected moment in time, but yeah, overwhelming at the same point. And then, like you said, that mental challenge for the other one. You've had both episodes now, so you should be pretty well skilled in managing a race win now. You've got both ends of the spectrum covered.
Yeah, I'm a more complete rider this year. Like I said, two victories. Okay, I always want more. I want to, once you do it, you're not expected, but it's more of myself to be more of a challenger consistently, and that's still what we're chasing, is to get me and the bike feeling better over different styles and conditions. So there's still things to work on, but you prove to yourself, prove to others, not that it matters, that you can be there, and I definitely feel like a more rounder athlete and racer out there this year for sure.
So on that too, like, where are we hoping to head with this? And I gather the goal's MotoGP at this point. Obviously, you're in Moto2, one of the stepping stones to it. But is there an end point that you're aiming for in all this process with the motorcycle racing?
Yeah, we need to get to MotoGP sooner the better. But I feel like just with consistency and hard work, that when my time comes and the opportunity presents itself, like, I'd love to be in sync with everyone next year. You know, everybody's up for contract next year. I'd love to have my name in the hat, but at the end of the day, I only do my best, and I won't be kicking myself if it doesn't happen. I'm 21 next year, so you know, I've got a good team. Still got age on my side. Experience is still on my side to need to gain more, obviously. So that's my goal, is just to be competitive enough in the next 6 months, and be in the best window in the next 6 months to be considered when all the rules change for 2027. And I think, like I said, there's only one or two riders that have signed contracts out of sync with the paddock waves. So that's my goals.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in your side of the discipline of the sport at that top level there, in terms of the changes coming through with bikes and regulations. So yeah, exciting times ahead for you, but you're right in the right point of it all, like you said, age and experience. So hopefully it all works out for you, and we can see you in that top category real soon. Now, shifting gears a little bit here, I wanted to ask you something that maybe has happened to you, or you've got to experience because of motorcycle racing, and something that wouldn't have happened necessarily if you weren't out and about with motorcycles throughout your life. Is there anything that jumps to mind? Now, we had a chat before we hit record. Hopefully something's triggered between now and then. So anything you got there for us, Senna?
No, nothing crazy. Believe it or not, I would just say it's the culture experience. Like, there's been countries that I would never go to in my life, probably, without motorbike racing. Like, I got to saw bits of Argentina that are not your normal tourist destination, and you see the good and the bad, and definitely bits and bobs in Asia. I'm a bit of a home guy. Like, I like traveling, but I also like my own my place. Like, I love Europe. I love where I'm living in Andorra, but I always, in the back of my mind, can't wait just to go home with my family and stuff like that. So definitely the travel is pretty cool. Experiences wise, it's, you know, we live a lifestyle that might look super luxurious and all that with all the traveling, but at the end of the day, we get in a day before the weekend, and then once you're in the track, it's hotel, track, airport.
Yeah.
And if there's ever a free week in like the Asia races and stuff like that, the team and stuff will stay around Indonesia and Thailand to try and fill in the gaps, you know, to stay away. And do a small holiday. I always try and duck home every time, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
okay.
I would just say it's the different cultures I've experienced a lot, especially early in my career when I was racing in Japan, staying in traditional Japanese hotels and really gelling with that culture. And that was at 11, 12 years old, and I had to adapt. So I would say the situations that I've been in when I was a bit younger, but nowadays it's a little bit more strict and routine. But let's put it down to the early years going to Japan.
Yeah, nice. There's a lot of places that you're going to experience, and something that only sport can do, and even motorcycling to this extent, that you'll go to some really out there places because of we've usually got to go to a place that's away from civilization for noise purposes and space for a track. So yeah, we do tend to end up in some interesting places, which is really cool. Now, before we end this interview, I'm going to spring something on you here, Senna. Actually, you've been nominated as one of the awards in the section here for the awards night tonight, and it's the Open Male Rider of the Year category. Now, you've actually won that category, so congratulations. You are the Open Male Rider of the Year for 2025 for the Motorcycling New South Wales Awards. Like I said, sprung it on you, but hopefully you've got something to say about it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Obviously doing my best out there. I don't know, is it just for I don't know how it works. Like is it statistics? Is it like big achievements? Because obviously there's heaps of guys in Australia, and even I guess it's motorcycling, so it's considered all the other categories as well, off-road and stuff like that. So I presume so. Yeah, honoured to be the rider of the year, and always doing my best out there.
Yeah, no, you definitely are. And look, hopefully somebody's going to collect the award. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. We're doing this ahead of the event, so we'll find out on the night. But yeah, look, it's awesome to have you be a part of the awards night, one, but also to win a category two. And obviously just to have you in the discipline of motorcycle racing and get to watch you as an Australian and a fan, see you on the world stage. It's awesome. Appreciate you having some time for us to join us on the night for the awards.
No, not a drama. The support from Australia has been massive this year, and that was just shown at the turnout, regardless of the result that happened at Phillip Island. The whole weekend was amazing to see everyone, and especially the races close to home, like Indonesia and Malaysia. There's plenty of Aussies this year, way more than last year. So appreciate the support and hope I'm doing everyone proud. And yeah, honoured to be Glass's Rider of the Year, let's say. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacob Roulstone, Moto3 World Championship rider, and welcome to the 2025 Motorcycling New South Wales Awards. Yeah, all right.
Cool. So I will read you the question, you give us a response, and then we'll hit the next question straight afterwards. All right, Jacob. So what has motorcycle racing taught you about life?
Motorcycling racing has taught me to enjoy every moment in life when from the outside it might not be seen as a good moment in time, but you know, I've met a lot of different people from all aspects of the world at such a young age, and it's taught me to as I said, really cherish moments in life. And when it seems like you have a bad session, it's not the end of the world. There's people far better or far worse off than finishing 20th in a session, than being 2 seconds off. It's something that's given me a more of a wide vision in that sense.
Nice. All right. What has motorcycle racing done for you that might not have happened if you weren't racing a motorcycle?
Me the opportunity to, of course, travel the world and really see some places where tourists where it's not a very tourist attraction area. For example, in Japan, it's out of Tokyo. In America, it's another town in Texas, and it's something that you get to see. You generally arrive in the big cities, and then you drive or fly again to a smaller city, and it's given me a real wish of what life is in all around the world. I think we're very fortunate coming from Australia, where it's a safe and loving place, where in other countries it's quite different. So it's given me a real I've been able to see many cool places which not many people would generally go to visit.
So let's go back to the start. What do you remember about your first club day on a motorcycle event in New South Wales? What was the club? What was the discipline? What was the feelings you got on that first day?
Started actually with motocross. My first ever motocross race was actually at Nowra motocross track. I come from Jamboree, so kind of in the middle of Nowra and Mount Kembla. I do remember that is my first race and first memory. My first proper one was at Mount Kembla in a huge mudder in motocross on my 50cc, and it ended with a bike stuck in the mud and needing to wash it with Dad. But as well, I've done most disciplines on bikes. I've competed in trials, flat track, motocross, and now I compete professionally in road racing. So as another club as well with that really boosted my career is Central Coast Junior Motorcycle Club. That's where I really won my first race, where I competed in Australian titles, state titles, where I won titles for them in both Australian and state. But I think it's the memories I have is my grandparents, my aunties and uncles of at Nara when I was younger, and even my cousins, because my cousins raced motocross at that time, and it was a cool experience, that's for sure.
Nice. In terms of the career now, where do we hope that motorcycling is going to take you eventually?
I'm hoping to make it to MotoGP and to be a world champion in that category, and as well the categories before. But I think that's the life plan I have, is to go race MotoGP and make my career for that. Make a is my plan, and is the pathway that I'm hoping to take.
Nice. All right, man. That's what we need. That was really good. You put that together well.
Thank you.
All good.